Am I in?
Yeah, you're in.
I better be in.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, it gets louder once I start.
Yeah, it gets more popular because we're here filming.
Yeah.
No more popcorn.
No more popcorn.
Tonight we watched Wolfpack, the 19...
Is it the Wolfpack?
Just
Or-
Wolfpack.
Oh, just Wolfpack.
Just Wolfpack, 1987.
Oh, I thought you were still
Oh yeah,
going.
I mean, the synopsis is that we have a high school that's very involved in their identity politics. They've been hand-fed some selected niche ideologies and have been set loose upon the high school without much supervision to enact them.
Well, there was supervision by the guy, but yeah, when I was reading the description of this movie, I was thinking it's like kids are getting murdered. No, kids don't get murdered in this. They allude to it at the beginning.
Yeah,
and then they don't.
The spine stomping.
This is one from Vinegar Syndrome. You will notice Nathan's not here. He went down to Florida to do a new kind of point of view pornography thing that he's auditioning for. It's from the girl's perspective.
Oh,
so they're
the reverse
looking up.
POV.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Good luck to him down there.
Yeah, much luck to him.
Let's do these shots in honor.
In honor of Nathan. And his
reverse POV. Yeah, this movie came out in the 87. That's when it came out. So you kind of touched on the premise of it. But the main character, I forget his name. We're just going to call him John.
Sam Adams. Sam Adams. Sam Adams.
This 40-year-old looking man going to high school.
Yeah, middle-aged man with the mortgage, 5 o'clock shadow, and in certain angles they tried to hide it, but as a man myself, I could tell.
Oh, the balding.
The balding. That man was balding.
So they discover he's good at football. He's
a tight end.
He's a tight end. Nice tight end.
Nice tight end.
Those nice Daisy Dukes he works out in
every time.
But so he wants to go to Princeton, full ride.
Nothing but the best.
Yeah, nothing but the best. That's all he wants. He wants to be an astronomer like his dad that died.
He wants to be the first man on Mars. Yeah, didn't leave me much but a love for the heavens.
So, but previous to meeting him, you witness what I assumed was a murder, but it wasn't.
No.
You have so you have the Wolfpack, which is the team.
Wolfpack, which is the football team of the school.
Yes. They're playing a game. They're all huddled up with a coach. The coach is a dick to his son that we find out. Son's like, look, Dad, I don't want to play anymore. Put this other dude up here.
Put him in.
Yeah, this beta. And he's like, my son's going to fucking play.
My son, you're a winner. You want to quit?
Yeah, you're going to fucking play.
You gotta quit with all that quitting talk.
So then you got these 3 guys on the same team that says, hey, let's take out the quarterback.
Yeah, let's take him out.
Makes no fucking sense. No. But you see him get tackled by his own teammate, the wedge.
This massive dude tackles him. Just shows a slow motion shot of this quarterback getting sacked by his own teammate.
Your ass got sacked.
Yeah, your ass.
For you old school YouTubers out there. And then he gets stepped on his spine.
Spine cleated, spine stomped by. I believe that was someone from the other team.
Yeah. No, I think it was the same team.
This is brutal.
And that's why I'm like, you guys allowed this? Nothing.
No one said anything.
It was an accident.
They didn't review any footage. Nothing. They just this happens all the time here.
And dude's dad still goes on coaching, and yeah. So they do this, which we find out. We get our little Hitler kid, Bukowski.
Jack Boot.
They call him Jack Boot.
Jack Boot, yeah.
He's wanting to rise up in the school to take over the school, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely see like the Nazi.
There's a lot of
undertones.
allegory.
Yeah,
the movie is loaded with allegory. Sam Adams, and he's the one kid who's gonna stand.
I remember when Samuel Adams went to Germany to try to stop the Nazis.
to fight Jack Boot.
Yeah,
and when get his scholarship to Princeton.
Yeah.
It is very allegorical. I felt like the movie was like this is the high school that the guys that were in Fortress America went to. You know, like it was all very like, you know, loaded down with ideology, and there's little hints at things like that. You know, they're all yelling Jack Boot at the pep rally.
Yeah, they were chanting along.
They pick him up, you know, on his shoulders and carry him to the stage. Yeah,
they were loving it. And then you had what was it? So yeah, that, and I hated this old man, Pudge. Pudge. Why do you have that nickname? Why do you accept it? You nobody has to call you Pudge.
You don't have to stand for that, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
You're driving around in a
DeLorean, living in a castle,
and you still want to be called Pudge? Get the fuck out of here. But I hated him from the beginning. When the new kid, Sam Adam, moves in, and he's like, "Oh, you're moving in, cool.
Yeah, very
you
cool.
need some help?" And then he picks up a football.
He grabs a football, just the one.
Yeah.
You called it too.
Well,
He's like, he's just gonna grab one thing,
yeah.
and then he grabs a
And
football.
then Sam Adams got 4 boxes, and that old man just decides to start walking in front of him up these flight of stairs,
stopping too while he's like recalling things. Like, I remember my kid.
Yeah,
Tommy,
fucking asshole.
My wife will only talk about her 3 daughters. If you mention Tommy in front of her, she gets real sad.
He died of a hemorrhage.
Died of it. Can't do it. Don't talk about him.
But I'll still go watch that football.
Yeah, I'll still go to that same sport every weekend.
At that same school.
Same school, same coach.
Know what's going on, but not going to stop it. But he wasn't Southern. This takes place in New Jersey.
Yeah, the Garden State. They don't.
I can't do a good Jersey accent.
Yo, I'm gonna go to my kid's football game, but he's dead now.
Just rub some linguine in it.
He loves to rub some. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's while all this, you know, football is being played and kids' spines are getting stomped on, there is a high school student council president thing going on. That's where we see a lot of more of our allusions to some of the ideologies. So that you see the posters for the candidates.
No schools give this much power to running for class president. It does not happen.
No.
The only thing they get is like, we want more sodas.
Yearbooks. We want the.
Yeah.
We don't want just sugar-free orange crush.
Yeah, you don't get to hire Gestapos to run the bathrooms.
And that's what Jack Boot's whole thing is that he wants a cleaner, you know, and it felt like they did sort of deliver it pretty well for being kind of like an obvious, you know, jam down your throat. It did seem like it was delivered. I want to have, you know, student patrols out here in the hallways, making sure that our hallways are clean and that people aren't, because they show a lot of 80s punks. 80s punks smoking cigarettes in the bathroom. You got to say that you're
40-year-old dudes in the bathroom.
You got to say that you're cool when you come in, so we know you're not the man.
Because that makes sense.
You know, I'm totally not the man, dude. You know, it's.
I'm just wanting to take a piss and wash my hands.
Yeah, you know, which is the washing my hands part. If high school, from my memory, that seems a little unrealistic.
Oh, no kid would wash their hands. Especially, I know if we did, I did wash my hands.
Yeah.
For you viewers. But you would see a lot of people didn't wash their hands. And I know they didn't.
Right from the urinal, right out the door.
Yeah.
Off to Spanish class. But yeah, so he delivers this speech about keeping the hallways clean and, you know, keeping drug dealers out of their school and stuff like that. And you do, because there is at one point a drug dealer in their school, Ice Pick, who's got the ice pick, and he's gonna gut the student who didn't,
because he's used to pushing pounds, not dime bags,
not dime
or
bags.
nickel bags or whatever.
But because these fascists are locking down our drug purchasing, nobody's buying drugs no more.
They were making the school better.
They were, by using force and intimidation. By God, they cleaned up the drug problem.
They did.
You know, and they did tune up the drug dealer. Wedge and his boys did take care of it. But what was, I forget the nerd's name. I just called him the nerd because the guy who's running opposed to Jack Boot,
Oh, something Webster. Not Webster Hall, but it was like
Arthur or something.
Arthur or Adam Webster or something like
Something nerdy. The dude was a nerd.
Oh, he was a dick.
Yeah, he was condescending. He was crazy because for the way they were trying to paint Jack Boot, like they were able to paint this guy just the same as the fact that he's like this intellectual, condescending dickbag that's just super annoying, right? And you're just like, whatever. You don't necessarily feel for him, but he tries to deliver the counter. So you have this setup where you have these people that are setting up physical confrontations, and you have this ideological battle taking place in the school.
Yeah.
Which I agree with you. This is way out of hand, but at one point I feel like they addressed that in the writing when they had the teacher, after they tuned up that drug dealer, they had the teacher, the principal, and everybody meet up in the library smoking. They were smoking cigarettes in the school library.
To be back in those days, to smoke cigars, pipe tobacco,
in the school library,
conducting business, like
business. Yeah, on low light settings too. Yeah. And they're just talking about, like, listen, drug use has gone down. Punk smoking cigarettes in the bathroom has gone down. You know, we can't do anything as teachers because that's illegal. You know, why don't we...
Oh, at that time they could.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Had
paddling. Yeah, you know, I remember them paddles having the aerodynamic holes cut in them to cut down on wind resistance to get more oomph.
You're that old?
Well, I remember it.
I only got paddled once, and that was kindergarten.
See,
but
I didn't get paddled.
It ended here in Tennessee.
I didn't get paddled. I remember seeing the paddle because they always tried to, like, they would always have, like, in Memphis, they had them, like, the one principal had it nailed to the wall so that you would remember. And it was always crazy because we were poor, right? So, like, it wasn't like, if you hit me with that, my mom's going to sue. Is if you hit me with that, I'm going to fucking break your nose, and my mom's going to come down here and probably choke you to death. Like, we're poor people. We don't handle things through the courts. But anyway...
We handle this
in the streets, by God. Yeah, in the bus parking area. But Wolfpack, Fortress Wolfpack. So the teachers are basically complicit in all this because they're like, we can't really do anything about it. And these kids are getting results, and they're getting what we ultimately want too.
Yeah,
I kind of got the idea because in some, like, when they're working out in their attic. They're working out in the attic and they're just flinging weights. The one guy's doing like crunches on the inverted stretch
Sam
machine.
Adams is always in jeans or jeans shorts.
Cut off shorts.
Except for when he plays football.
Yeah.
But any other time it's jeans or jeans
nothing
shorts.
But denim on these legs, baby.
Oh my God. And he's just pumping iron.
Pumping iron. Well, they're pumping iron, and he's talking about how his teacher had given him Nishetzi, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He given him a bunch of Nish.
Oh,
Nishetzi.
What is?
Giving him a bunch of shit to read, a lot of philosophy to read.
Yeah,
and it gave me the idea, especially after that scene where they're all smoking cigars in the library, that they were, because they kept calling him doctor, that they were like feeding these kids the ideology. And seeing how it plays out in real time in like a micro society.
You find out it was the one teacher. He was the mastermind behind it all. And he was wanting Sam Adams to keep doing the football thing.
Yeah.
With dangling to the Princeton thing.
Yeah, go on to Princeton. Just play along. Yeah.
Yeah, just do that. And then kind of just messing with them.
A psychological, if you can, and where we come down to the allegories you're talking about, if you can look at what you will have in success, if you can play along and just kind of go with everything, look what you can get. If you can subjugate other people, look what your reward is. And Sam Adams, of course, being the freedom-loving American that he is, said no.
Yeah, and this is an American propaganda film. I'm surprised there's not more guns in it. But it's a high school.
Well, it's a high school. Now, to be fair, American high schools, we have some guns in our schools. But I felt like, and I like firearms in movies, I felt like if there had been guns in this movie, it would have detracted from the larger statement I feel like they were trying to make. I felt like... I felt like this movie was trying to make a lot of points
Mm.
that would kind of rub in your face.
Oh, it was trying to be more artistic than what it was.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and it was. I felt like, excuse me, to collect my thoughts.
Mm.
It's trying to rub in your face. I felt like I'm fucking totally derailed now.
You're derailed.
Derailed.
But yeah, well, let's see. What do we have at the time here? What do we have?
It's 10:37.
I want to say we'll digress from that. If you remember, we'll hop back
we'll
on
hop
it.
back on. Yeah, digress
But
from me altogether.
when I thought this was gonna be like a bunch of like high school kids getting murdered, it was like, so you would see the football team like straight up like paralyze the kids,
Just pummeling.
Yeah, just randomly like, we're gonna go after this guy, like taking hits out on these
Yeah,
other
they meet
football
up in the
teams.
huddle and they're just calling out people
Yeah.
to injure, maim.
Yeah, you would have that. I felt like there should have been some murders in this, but
Well, and I did think it was interesting that the ambulance was just ever present at all of their games, and every game they played as they got closer to the state championships.
oh, you had to be.
They just, because they just, every game it was just somebody else was getting gurneyed up and taken away.
Yeah.
It was insane. You've got the student presidency going on and this football team that's just maiming kids and ruining people's lives.
Oh, okay. So the love interest, the blonde chick,
Yeah.
was that the old man's daughter?
Fucking hope so. Because that scene where, like,
Oh, they're
old
swimming.
Sam Adams is,
Yeah.
like, on her and the old man is also, like,
Yeah,
on her.
it was
I
weird.
hope- That was incredible. That was so
Oh, I
uncalled
don't
for.
think so.
That could have been left on the editing.
Because she was
room
like, I
floor.
never. Because
Yeah,
that's when he
she's
was
the
going.
best pie I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they were related. I think Sam Adams brought.
Why is this old man
It's just so creepy.
popping up?
And that really, at one point, I remember in the first 20 minutes of the film, after they moved into that house,
Yeah.
it's like, why are they moving into that house? What connection is there? Are they just renting this?
They're just
fucking-
moving in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't make any sense. I'm like, I wonder if we're going to see that old man again in this movie. And then the
he's
next scene is
like
him
a-
at the pool
Yeah.
with them. And I'm like, I wish I had never
And then he's like a
asked.
workshop teacher. at the
He's like a
school?
shop teacher. He's got
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, because he just turns up at the school when the teacher hands. That's why I think he was hand feeding him the ideologies, because the teacher
Yeah.
handed him that manila envelope,
Yeah.
and the old boy was wearing the same apron he was wearing at the house at the
Yeah.
school, and just seen him, and that's
Well,
what
he's just walking like
through the back end of a theater. Yeah, that's what didn't make any sense. And then
And then he got a little Hitler boy walking.
Jack Boot is just
Jack
wearing
Boot.
just Speedo shorts, and that's
Speedo
it.
shorts, just
That's
giving
cool, that's
demands
it.
out to
Yeah.
his boys.
Sending out, yeah. So that teacher, I don't remember that guy's name. He goes out.
Pudge or the
Pudge. Pudge
Uh-huh.
heads out. Yeah, Pudge
Yeah.
heads out after seeing Jack Boot
Mm.
get his new file of orders
Yeah.
from that teacher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he heads out in the old DeLorean. The DMC heads out in
Mhm.
the old DeLorean, and immediately some high school purge style.
Start chasing him down. That's why I was like, this raises question to me. How do these kids already know he knew
No
about
cell
stuff?
phones. Yeah.
They have no cell phones.
Ready to go.
Your reasoning was, well, he's a football star.
So
he just ran out there.
I was just
so
like,
quick.
he just ran.
You got old man Rivers, like just
You know, he's hobbling to his
shuffling.
DMC.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta tell Marge about this.
But let me speed off and then hide in my car wash.
Hot, yeah, so he takes off. He's running away from these kids, these goons, these 80s level goons.
Mm-hmm.
He runs off and he decides he's going to do a little Grand Theft Auto 5
Oh yeah.
and take himself into the old
Well,
car
where
wash.
he messed up was the car wash. He got to
Mhm.
go to the paint shop.
Yeah,
or the
you
car
got to do that
garage.
$200 paint your entire
Yeah.
car, yeah.
And then they won't know it's you.
Yeah, they'll have no idea. Is that a DeLorean? No, dude, that guy had a silver DeLorean.
Yeah.
That's a black DeLorean.
That's a black. Yeah,
Stupid.
ain't no way.
Yeah,
Stupid.
fucking idiot. But they fuck up Pudge. They get him as soon as his car is clean and spotless. Like, it comes out partially dry too. 80s car washes must have been sick because he comes out spotless.
They
that
don't
car.
make them like they used to.
They don't make them like they used to, but they fuck that man. And that hurt me because once they hit that windshield, That's not like a Honda Accord windshield you can just find.
Yeah.
It's a DeLorean
That
windshield.
car wash montage was like a good 10-15 minutes too.
Yeah. Well, they had to. I can't imagine what the budget was for the car.
That was $100,000 budget for this movie.
Man, they did more with $100,000 than I could.
I mean, yeah, they did some good work. All right. Well,
Yeah. They beat the shit out of the old guy. It's a good movie.
Yeah. All right. You want to get into scores?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to go first or me?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 stars.
Oh.
I thought it was an interesting movie. I thought it was funny to watch. It was goofy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the scenes caught me off guard. You know, it was very keep your rifle by your side. Like when the school is singing, like it cuts to that scene where the 3 girls are just singing. They've got professional opera singers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was all very like. It was very interesting. I thought it was funny.
Okay.
I think if you compare it to what we're living through now, 40 years later, I think it's pretty interesting that they kind of. If you look at the contrast of what they were filming as satire in the 80s versus what we're living with now, I think it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Me, I'm going to give this about a 3. Some parts I enjoyed, the funny parts. Still can't get over the dude chewing the pen constantly.
Always, yeah.
Sam Adams. But I just don't know what it is, which I understand the time. They had like old dudes playing high schoolers. It's just what was there.
There are not enough high schoolers without jobs.
Well, the thing is, like that time, like people were built differently then too. You had people already looking fucking like
Burt Reynolds at 17.
Yeah, it's great. Where are those people now? You don't have them anymore nowadays.
We got soy boys now.
Exactly. There's no soy in the food.
No soy.
But yeah, it's just like a lot of parts I felt like they could have cut out. Like the whole one of them car washing scene that thing was dragged on too long. I get what they were doing. It's like, oh, I'll lose them because
they'll
never suspect that I turned off here.
Car in the car wash at 2 in the morning.
Night.
Yeah.
And then you had like this whole montage with Sam Adams and his girlfriend. Nothing came of it. It was fucking dumb. I enjoy some montages now if it builds to something, but it had nothing to do with anything. And that was like 10 minutes, and it was just them running around this cathedral.
That's why I said that's what my summer's going to be like. Yeah, because they're running around structural art and cathedral, just having like a little.
They're not. It's whatever.
Yeah.
They were just like
They're
trying
bonding.
to like kill time. They're like, look, because the movie's like 80 minutes. And they were probably like, we're at an hour.
You're right.
So we gotta add some stuff.
We gotta
into
throw
this.
some shit in there real quick. We already spent all the money on the DeLorean.
And
let's go to some.
It's not in our budget to have some killings or anything. Because then you see, and then you see football coach's son like comes up at the end of the movie, where
he's just in crutches still. He's still in crutches after a year ago that injury happened.
At this speaking event prep rally.
It was like it was a weird prep rally because it felt like the last scene in Waterboy, right?
Yeah,
where they're all kind of just gathered there. Because
I thought it was supposed to be for a football game, not a prep rally. But
prep rally
was
after the game. Sort of.
I'm doing my acceptance speech for class president. Ooh.
Yeah.
But
and I feel like they shaded that scene towards the end where it's he's the class president, this, that, and the other. They shaded it to make it look like it was supposed to be like a Klan rally or something like that. Like it was because it was at night. It was all dark.
Oh later on.
Yeah, they're layering on the
because then you had the kids with the black shirts and the white ties,
the black shirts and stuff like that. And that was one of the things that I feel like the class presidency sort of set up was that you had. Look at their propaganda. Look how they're all kind of, you don't tear down these posters.
Yeah.
And, we're going to tear down your posters.
Right.
And it was all very just shady.
Yeah.
Wolfpack, 1987.
Yep.
The precursor to Fortress America.
Go watch it.